GMB Pros, welcome everybody that's on the live. I appreciate you guys. Those that are catching the replay, I'm super excited to have this, what I consider a friend, huge heart, willing to help. Guys, I've seen it. He's done it for me. I've seen him do it for others. Really awesome guy. Guys, stay plugged in, right? That's one thing, support each other. And the reason I say this is because how I met Solomon, right? Solomon's a real cool guy, but I met him through another close friend, um, which is Cohen, local dominator, right? Um, so I went in and they were doing a webinar together, and I saw it. It came through my email, and I said, "I'm gonna go support, right? I'm gonna go support." I love Cohen. He's the real deal, and that's when I met Solomon. And I said it earlier: when the student is ready, right, the teacher will show up.
Right.
Okay. And I was always looking for, we were just talking about it earlier, a solution for cold email, right? So my marketing strategy is, cold email. I want to get going on ads here soon, and then content, right? That's my little formula for success and authority. And man, Solomon came through. That's what he talked about, and he'll get more into it. But a beautiful thing. I looked into his program. He took me under his wing. I enrolled, guys, and it's been a beautiful thing. Success, book calendar, book appointments on my calendar, being able to speak to more people, helping me grow personally. Because, like I told you in the Monday template, cold email template session I did, you're gonna get calls, and there's a difference in your skill set, as far as somebody that's warm, that you feel confident with conviction, and somebody that's cold. Then you have to really step it up in your skills and how you can find the need, the pain, the emotion, of the client, taking your emotions out of it. And these are things that I've learned from Solomon's group, because not only is it a cold email, and again, we'll get into that, but he wants to support you. All the excuses you may have, Solomon thought about it, and a real, like, no theory, no, a real solution to that. So guys, before I kind of hand over the reins to Solomon, and I'm not just saying that because he's here, guys, I really mean this. Go support Solomon. ClickX, he has a Facebook group, a YouTube channel. Guys, I believe in this guy so much. I bought the book. I literally, Amazon.com, 0 to K scaling playbook, because I want to support what Solomon has, what he's doing. I believe it's making an impact in our SEO community, our marketing community, to help more businesses grow, help more agencies grow, and make an impact on all of us. So,
put the links on the chat, Alfredo. Put the link
yeah,
to the blog and also his Facebook
yeah.
profile.
Will do. Will do. Absolutely. Solomon, my friend, how are you, man?
I'm doing great, Alfredo. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
We're excited to be part of your world.
Thank you.
I'm learning a lot from you. You talked about me. I'm learning more about you, about being live like every hour. I wake up and it shows that Alfredo was alive for like an hour. I'm like, wow.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah, this means a lot to me. And I hope by the end of this, a lot of questions are going to be answered. And this is, again, as you said, this is much more about impact. I love serving this community. So just a little background. I started an agency in 2006, so I know exactly the pain every agency owner goes through, whether it's lead generation pain, whether it's sales, whether it's scaling your fulfillment, and all of the things that we got to deal with, operations, HR, cash flow, anything. You can tell me, I've been there, done that. So we've sort of morphed into helping agencies primarily because when we were growing and scaling, we would have folks ask us how we're doing things and how does it work and so on. So we just kind of took all of that knowledge and we're making sure that every single one of you who is watching, listening, has the playbook, like Alfredo says, to then scale, to execute, whatever it is that you need. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, Alfredo. We can dive into any topics. Maybe if you wanted me to kind of talk about the email, I'm happy to. There's so much to agency scaling. So you can guide me if you'd like.
Yeah, so I want to take it from the point of like our pain points as agency owners, right? Like, we at the end of the day, what makes us great is if our calendar is full. That
That's right.
we have opportunity to help clients, give them value, give them a solution, and make money. So with that being said, okay, how do I get my a calendar book? How,
Right.
there's several ways, right? I've had several people on here to help that process, and do it in an affordable way. So with that, like, we all know how to rank. We all know, William Jones will help you that. We all know the Chris Palmers will help you with that. We all know even Solomon has a fulfillment team, guys. So that fulfillment part we got down, or we've been, guys, in this community, we're GMB pros, we got that part down, right? But what about, like, hey, Solomon, do we want to do ads? Yes, but I'm not there yet. Or, what is a more affordable avenue that I can do to book that calendar? I kind of want to take it from there. And we all hear about this cold email thing. Like, oh man, do I have to buy a domain? Do I got to warm up my emails? Now, Solomon, do I have, is it an audit every single time? Like, how do I automate this stuff, right?
Right.
That's what it was for me, because not all of us like it, right? So I want to take it from that. Like,
100%. Yeah. So this is, again, I'll just kind of maybe take it one step higher, is that there's going to be 3 constraints in every one of you that's listening and watching. Is 3 constraints. I talk about it a lot. The first constraint is your lead constraint, right? So that's what Alfred is bringing up, is like, I don't have leads, or I don't have booked appointments. And the second constraint we'll touch on briefly is the sales constraint. You have booked appointment, calendar is getting full, but we're not closing deals. Does that make sense? And the third constraint, Alfredo mentioned, you guys are GMB pros, so the fulfillment will be the next one, where you need to add your team, add higher resources, full-time, part-time, virtual assistant, whatever it is. So in the lead constraint compartment, the only ways to generate leads that are sustainable and predictable is outbound or inbound, or a combination of both, right? I love inbound because that's the game that we play. We help our customers get leads. They call you. But we're in a very unique place as business owners. You see, like a plumber who helps a consumer cannot cold email. There's no way to cold email a homeowner. Does that make sense? This only works if you're a business trying to contact another business. Since we are like the perfect candidate for that, like we have small businesses that need marketing services, and we have the ability to generate email addresses of small businesses. So if we can get that data, then we can contact these folks. So one of the things that we did is we set out to make sure that no agencies that we work with are struggling on the lead generation side. So first couple of years, we were just doing ads for agencies, getting them booked appointments and doing that. And then our team, we have a development team. We built an entire software, and I'll probably show you a little bit of the software. Our software team, I said, look, we need to do this cold email, and we want to do it right. And I was doing it manually. I bought every tool that you can imagine. I've done everything I can. I paid for all kinds of things to warm up my inbox. I bought courses. I mean, you name it, right? Watch YouTube videos, gurus, people that been on webinars. I mean, I'm a customer of like the big data companies, and they're all telling me what to do. And unfortunately, like I said, a lot of my emails ended up going to spam. My messaging wasn't connecting. I couldn't personalize the emails to the degree that I wanted to. And there's this new concept called video prospecting. If anybody's heard of it, please put it in the chat. So I know they're like, you got to get in front of the camera, make a video, and then you have to talk to the people. And the biggest challenge is that takes so much time. Alfredo got to get on a camera, make a video for prospect A, and another video for prospect B. After 25 prospects, he's done. He's exhausted. He's never probably going to want to do that again. So what we did is we set out to get the data of all these businesses. That was our first biggest achievement. And I think we did a really good job. We have every small business that you can imagine. If they have a brick and mortar business, we have their information. All right. We don't care if they got good reviews, bad reviews, whatever it is. If they have a brick and mortar business and they're in Google, Yahoo, Yelp, right? Any of those directories, we have their information. Once we have their information, we can then go and enhance that information with their website address. We can see, their contact information and so on. And once we had that nailed, all we had to do is figure out how do we scale the email part. So here's what I would like to do. Can you guys one of you give me your niche? If you serve brick and mortar, which if you're a GMB guy, you know that you do. Can you give me your niche and a location that you serve? Will you do that for me?
Can I
And
do it,
I'll-
Alfredo?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, guys. This is, we have, go ahead.
Go ahead and do it.
Could I-
Limo service, Los Angeles. Bad coffee?
Yeah,
Say that
bad
again.
coffee. Bad coffee's here. He says, I'm talking third person participle now. Bad coffee says, what about immigration attorney San Diego? Do Harry's request first, if you would, because he's top priority here. Thank you, Solomon.
Yeah. I am happy to be here and serve you guys. So I'm going to say immigration attorney. So here's what I'm doing, just so you guys could see it. I just went to our platform. I just made a list called immigration attorneys. And then all we're doing is clicking this get data. Give me a second here. And it's going to pop up and ask me, what kind of data do I want? Does that make sense? And I'm going to punch in immigration attorneys. So let me make sure that this account, I always run into trouble with credits in this account. I'm actually probably going to jump into Alfredo's account because I know he's got plenty of credit. I'm about to mess up his list real quick. But the reason I say that is all we're trying to accomplish is we need immigration attorney data. Hang on. So, well, long story short, what you're going to get is a list that looks like this. Okay. I had to jump into Alfredo's account. So here's actually what is happening in the background. We're diving in and getting addresses of people, and we're going to download this into a CSV file. Does that make sense? This was the data component I told you. And I'm actually going to open it and show you guys what that Excel spreadsheet looks like. That's literally what you want. So this is what, I'm on a regular Mac. I don't have anything fancy. I don't even have Excel on this. So this would be the data, like the domain name. This would be the category that would say immigration attorneys, because I wanted to show it you guys quick. We have the email addresses that they have public inside their website most of the time. So we don't actually have to go do anything magic. We just have to grab that data, and we have their company name, we have their phone number, we have their address, we have their Google reviews information, we have their X, which is Twitter, YouTube profile, Facebook. We want to know if they have a Facebook pixel on their website. Google, we want to know if they verified their, Google GMB, you guys' specialty, right? And their title tags on the homepage, and whether or not they're running website. This happens automatically in the background for any state you like. And we're downloading and gathering and upgrading this information so that we can prep this information to send an email. So for all of you guys that was wondering, how does that data thing work? This is the first component. The second component is, I'm going to jump back to my demo account really quick so I can show you guys what the template engine looks like. So this is where you would then design the template that you want. So what I'm able to do here is I could create any template with any variables that I have about that business. So one of the things that people do is once they have this data, they go to, first of all, they go to like Upwork or something, get, buy, list. Maybe you're going to have some email addresses that are not good. Does that make sense? And then you give it to somebody else to kind of create an email, but then you have to personalize every email. And then the challenge with that is if you have to personalize every email, then you need to go to their website to study what do they do to personalize the email. So what we do is we would use AI to do that. We can have AI personalize as much I would like, right? So this email, if I just do a quick preview here, give me a second, you will be able to see a completely personalized intro using a business information. So this would be like a generic business. That's their domain name. I know it is XYZ restaurant. You see, if you ever consider lead generation, this is using the data of the agency that we have. We use obviously AI. We personalize a sentence and we're crafting an email real time. The email gets crafted real time. There's no VAs here.
Is that by ChatGPT?
That is correct. Yeah. So we have already the information about you in the database, I mean the system. We have the information about the business, which I just showed you every little thing, including the fact that they're a WordPress website. This is their title tag, meta description, whatever else we have. We customize this, and there's no two emails that are the same. Now, I'll tell you why this is really important for anybody that's trying to do this on their own, which is probably what the value of this conversation is going to be. I think everybody should try to do cold emails and get it right. But the challenge is Google and Microsoft does not like it if all of your emails are the exact same thing. That's where most people go wrong. It's not even the warm up. It's not all these other things that we think. There's a lot of technicalities, getting all your records in row. So, domain verified, all that. But when we get down to it, our templates are the same. What they are looking for is a real human being sending real emails, in which case we'll never send all of our contacts the same email. The moment it smells like what you think it smells like, they'll get rid of you, right? Your emails end up going to spam. So what we've figured out is, how do we make sure every single email, it looks different and it is actually different? Any questions so far?
Could you use a spinning software instead of AI to do that?
Great question. Why would, just out of curiosity, do you think that would be better, or?
But why
Well,
we
everybody's emphasizing AI nowadays. It's like get on the AI bandwagon. But I have in my business is this immigration thing. I'm in the Beverly Hills of Mexico, called Tijuana, and I'm near the consulate embassy.
Yeah.
And I can do the legwork by ferrying documents back and forth between the consulate and particular immigrants requiring asylum or something like that.
Yeah.
But what I need is to send my introduction to a list of San Diego or California, Greater California area attorneys in the immigration business, letting them know that I'm available to do all their legwork inside of Mexico. Because most of these attorneys don't want to leave their office. I'd say 95% of them. They want to do it all by Zoom, and by paperwork and that sort of thing. And none of them want to go to Tijuana. It's not, doesn't have the greatest reputation. Let's say that.
Yeah.
So, because of that, I think that I've got a pretty good little marketplace here. And I could shoot out these business to business emails to a list of 300 or 400 attorneys. And if I could snag out of that maybe 20 or 30, that would keep me busy for all eternity. So, I'm interested in this. I think it's a great idea.
Right. And I think the question was, why use AI versus a spinning software? The reason why we use AI is that if I gave it a sentence, because I'm coming from the SEO background, just like you guys, and the system's only going to spin the same thing 200 different times. What we're doing is we're genuinely coming up with a completely different sentence based on the location of the business, the owner's name, if we have it, their Instagram profile reference. If we do it, we bring up all kinds of stuff into that intro. They will never think that it was written by a non-human. Does that make sense?
Okay, that makes sense. That makes a pretty good sense.
The pitch doesn't change, but inside the pitch, we're plugging in a lot of variables to make it even more hyper-personalized. That's my favorite word. How do we hyper-personalize it? So for instance, we use a variable called WordPress. That means if the website is in WordPress, it's not that we don't like any other platforms, is that we use the word WordPress because the person who built the website and they picked WordPress may or may not have known a little bit about WordPress. So we say things like, hey, because your website's in WordPress, it'll be really easy to plug and play our plugin or something. You know what I mean? It'll be really easy to implement our SEO system. And they're like, oh, wow, they know that my website's in WordPress. The other thing that we use is that I showed you on the database for Alfredo, we have the category. Category is the same as the niche. We have 5,000 niches in our system. So we bring the specific niche that they're in into the body of the email. So it'll be like, hey, I help plumbers in Anaheim, California. Anaheim is a variable. Plumbing is a variable. So the next guy might say in the database, it might not be plumber, it might say sewer contractor. So we don't actually call them what we think they are. We call them what they've defined themselves based on the data that we have. So like nobody, like if you email a immigration attorney saying personal injury, they get mad. Yes or no? They get angry. They're like, you don't know anything about me. We don't ever get in trouble because we know more about them based on what they've given to the internet. And so we never screw up that part. The other thing that I really like to do is how do we personalize it? So if I say, hey, I need to meet with you Tuesday of next week, we give to our software to then define 2 to 3 days in advance. So we say, I'm available XYZ. We plug and play. We skip tomorrow. We put Thursday, Friday. Tomorrow's actually, so it would look like this. It would say, if we send out the email today, at the body of the email say, I have a little bit of availability on Monday or Tuesday. So from a prospecting perspective, we're not asking them, do you have 15 minutes to talk to me today? Right? Like they're not getting bombarded with time involvement. They look at the email and they say, it's actually Monday, Tuesday. They might reply because the ability for us to customize that at scale all at the same time, it's unlike anything else. I'm going to take a break here and answer any questions, and I'll show you some more extra things and anything else I could do to help you guys get some more business. Any questions popped up in the middle of this?
Not so far, but guys, I hope you see the magic, the solution in this, because it's truly, I know Rafael, for example, and then we have another accountability partner. This stuff is what saves an email. This stuff is what saves, Google and Microsoft from looking at you, because literally, Rafael got the message of, hey, you're sending the same email, right? It's the same thing. So they'll start flagging it. So there's some built-in safety, and there is some like conversion benefits to this.
Yeah, so I'll show you one extra thing. So sorry, I'm gonna go share my screen here. One of the things that we wanted to do for our agency partners is that the customers still want to make sure that it's hyper-personalized. I'm gonna go back to the hyper-personalization. So what we've started to do is we would take a picture of their website and we would put it into the body of the email. And anybody like their website, they're emotionally attached to their website. Yes or no? Which business owner is not emotionally attached to their website? It could be really bad, but this is their baby. They love their website. Anything to do with their website, they're happy. And we start to see that a personalized picture in the body of the email. If I want to put a picture in it, I'll literally just copy, right, the screenshot, and I'll just paste it right here. And now I'm going to have a picture in the middle of this. So we're like, okay, now if I do a preview, it doesn't do it. But if I send an email to myself, it will actually give me, right, it will actually give me that picture of this random record in our database so I can see what that looks like. We start to see increased replies because they feel like they're being heard. How many of you guys heard that they don't buy, they want to feel heard, right? Do you ever hear that? Like they want to feel like you understand their problem. So we realized that, okay, it's really, really important that they feel like their information, you know what I mean? It's highly valuable. So what we've done is we got together with our developer team. This is sort of the time that video prospecting got really, really popular. How many of you guys ever tried to do video prospecting using Loom or anything like that? Anybody try to do like some Loom personalized email? Well, there's lots of people selling coaching and things like that, which I respect because, like I said, I think it's a really valuable thing to connect with our prospects on a one-on-one basis. But the challenge is it's way harder to execute than to buy the course and watch the content. Does that make sense? It's really, really hard to execute that because it's really your time and you don't have a lot of time. So what our team started to do is we realized that the best way to do this is if we can find a way to automate video prospecting. So I'm going to show you a screenshot. Here's an email. Here's a real agency. In the body of the email, here's a talking head, and there's their website being scrolled in the background. All right. That looks like video prospecting to me. That looks like Loom to me. Does it look like Loom to you guys? It looks like Loom to me. It looks a lot like Loom. If it doesn't look like Loom, let me know. Maybe Loom has changed the design. But when they click on that, they are seeing your logo, the name of the business, and this is the actual video. And there's that website in the background. And we have a calendar widget. Guys, paint.
Is that the AI video?
That is not an AI video. That is a real human being, is the owner of the agency who I have to be accountable to making him lots of money, is completely done by our software. And what we do is we embed this into the body of the email. Again, passes the Google test of different content, different email. Does that make sense? And then we will personalize every single one of them. This is a test email, so I just wanted to show you a test email. And then we have the embed code because we're really much about booking you appointments. Like our whole software is built around booking appointments for our partner. And this is your calendar embed, but the rest of it is hosted and managed by ClickX. So we got the data, we customized the body of the email, we introduced a variable, which is this video concept, and I'm taking that content and literally distributing it to these business owners who desperately need your help to stand out from all the other cold emails that they get every day. So there you go. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And nobody does this. Nobody will figure out how to do this either.
Will this email show up in a Gmail account? Or
yes, that is a Gmail. I'm inside Gmail right here. I run Gmail.
Are?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
This is an actual, it's like a GIF. So if you get an Old Navy email newsletter, you know what I mean? You'll be able to get something like this. Anything that is, anything that is, like I said, anything that is this is another one. Anything that is like an email software could literally play this video.
And Solomon, another question is if we take it a step back, right? Because we all know the kind of the first step for this to really work well is the list. So as far as, is there any other tool that our members need to get to, like confirm the email, clean the list, verify stuff?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I learned over the years that agency owners don't like to do anything. If we could just take away things, they would be so happy. So if we built the tool and we say, here's the hundreds and thousands of people's information, as you saw, the database is just downloading data, like we're updating in the background, queuing it up for sending. And then we said, no. We're going to actually tell Harry to go buy this other tool. And then he's going to have to run this through the Excel spreadsheet and then come back and they're going to re-upload it. And then the emails will go out. How much will Harry like me? He'll probably hate me. Yeah, exactly.
So your software will sanitize and clean the emails,
correct,
making sure they're all deliverable.
That is correct. We don't send, so there's actually more technicality than, I'd hate to get technical here, but somebody here who's listening might agree with me that if you verified your email address on Monday, chances are, not these businesses, but typically in a B2B environment, Bob would have gotten fired on Tuesday, but we emailed on Thursday and it would bounce because they deleted his inbox on Tuesday, but we verified on Monday. This happens in organizations all the time. They buy 100,000 list of companies, they run it through something, and they put it on somebody's to-do list. They go on vacation. They come back and say, it's a clean list. Let's send it out. All these bounces start coming in. Why? Because this has to be real time. Email boxes are getting shut down in the morning, so you cannot email in the afternoon. So the way that we do it is we do it the moment that email is ready to queue out. So when Harry's lead is about to go out, we check that email right there and then. And if it doesn't pass the test, we delete that. We take the next record and test it. And this way, we'll never have stale data in our database or get in trouble by these big giant companies that are $10 trillion telling me that I'm sending out emails that are not verified, or basically I'm sending it to emails that don't exist. That means that I'm spamming, right? Like, I should know my friend's email. If I'm emailing a customer, I should know their email. Why are you sending it to an email that doesn't exist? And why is 100 of them coming back all at the same time? All of these are red flags. At this moment, 100% of how they dictate what is email prospecting, what's terms of use, is done by AI. And AI is even more crazier than human interaction. They'll, you know what I mean? They'll flag anything.
Do we need to worry about canned spam, the regulations for email on this?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great question. And obviously we're deep into this. So there's two things that we need to worry about, that customers need a way to opt out, and customers need to have a physical address on the email. That is literally it. We're not emailing consumers, we're emailing businesses. The way that we actually send the email, because, look, people probably know like Stream Send or whatever, these email sending providers. Does that make sense? Like all those SendGrid, you've probably heard of them. A lot of people use these kinds of email delivery tools to send emails, but the challenge with those is they're doing one-to-many at the same time. It's kind of like email blast. That's exactly what it is. They're not really doing one-on-one, right? They're just an email sending provider. They're actually created for transactional emails. That's what like Amazon order kind of comes like that. The way that we send emails is actually one by one. As painful as that sounds, it's one by one from a real inbox of a real employee sends that email. It is as real as you sending an email to your friend for coffee. So do you send your friend an email and says, if you would like to unsubscribe to my email? You don't ever do that, do you? And you also don't actually say, here's my physical address, Bob, if you don't know where I live. So legally, we don't have to do anything because this is one by one to a verified email from a business to a business. But to be compliant, we're adding the opt-out and the physical address of the agency that we represent.
So there must be like an exception for business-to-business emails versus the prohibition in consumer-type mass emails, where you do not have a pre-existing relationship with the recipient of the email. So canned spam really affects, you're saying, consumer emails, but not business to business. So that would be a good exception to the rule?
I just went out to a local coffee shop for lunch and I got their business card. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to make them a video and I'm going to write a really personalized intro, and I send this video prospecting email from my inbox to their inbox. There's nothing wrong that I'm doing. I don't need to be like opt out here. I'd be like, hey, I came to your place. I got the chicken salad sandwich. It was delicious. Had to run for Alfredo's Live, but I made you this quick video on what you could do to make your website better, faster, quicker. In fact, they're a growing bakery or something over here. So like I could use all that. So I don't have to do anything. Does that make sense? That's what Gmail and all these tools are built for. But because we're sending so many, we're taking the next step into our journey in this, doing this. We're like, yes, we're going to go ahead and opt out. We're going to let people do that. But the reason why we never used to do this in the past is that we actually don't put links into our email. I'm giving you guys lots of secrets here. The reason why a lot of you guys' email end up in the spam is because you got way too many links. Every hyperlink is a possibility for them to flag it as a spam, right? So the more links you put into it, a link to your calendar, link to your website, link to a customer's, link to this. People think this is supposed to be all easy. No, this is a one-on-one personalized, one-to-one touch. Hey, saw your so-and-so, because my goal with the email is actually not to book a meeting. My goal with the email is to start a conversation. You guys
You know,
agree?
it would seem to me that since these business owners
Yeah.
are listing their businesses on Google in
Right.
in the map section. I don't know if you're scraping the maps or not to get these original lists or not, but since they're outreaching to the public by advertising their business and their email address to the public
That's right.
on Google page 1 or in the map section, that would be a total exemption to the pre-existing relationship rule for can spam, and you'd have every right in the world to contact them because they're actually soliciting the public in the world to contact them on Google.
That
Does
is
that sound
absolutely
reasonable?
right. Like I said, however, you know that people will find ways to make you at fault or or whatever it is. A minute ago, I want to make sure immigration attorney in what city was that? Was it LA? Was it somewhere else?
It was
Timothy was
San
Mexico.
Diego or California because it's a universal federal law,
Got
so
it.
it can be handled in any jurisdiction in the United States. So
Gotcha.
this would be USA,
Yeah,
but I'm close to I'm in Tijuana, so
I
I
love
would be
it.
close to that's where all the
Thank-
celebrities hang out. We all know that. Angela Jolie and all the rest of them. They're all my neighbors here, sure. But in any
Wow.
case, I'm close to the border with San Diego. So I
Gotcha.
would really like to focus on San Diego first and then maybe
Yes.
kind of creep up the state into Orange County and then LA,
Yeah.
maybe Riverside County
Yeah.
and take it from there.
Absolutely. I agree with you. What I was saying is that I just ran that list. As soon as it's ran, I'll show you what that data looks like because we had a chance to chat and show you guys what it is. But going back to this concept, to get email right, we got about a dozen employees, engineers working on making this thing happen. So if you're a small business agency, solopreneur, maybe 5 people, 2 people, and you have this task of getting email prospecting going. And you also have to take care of your customer. You also have to prospect, do the meeting, close the deal, order the services in Alfredo's system to get the fulfillment done. Like there's a lot of things that are pressing your time, and you're going to get the data wrong or the Gmails addresses are not verified. Like I feel like this is 110 things are happening at once to get one email out that I don't expect any of you to figure out. And if you have figured it out, give yourself a pat on the back. That's what we decided to take off of your plate to figure out how can we do this at scale and how can we do this affordably? Because like I said, I love small businesses. If I didn't love them, I would never do this. And we know that they need help. And Alfredo was on one of our calls yesterday. And if you guys don't help them, they have nobody else to help them. Quite sadly, they're on their own. They're going to be dangerous. But if you had an Alfredo, a Harry, right? Raphael, a Dale to help them out, optimize their site, optimize it. The challenge is they wouldn't reach out to us because they have too much pride or too much business, too many things going on. They're actually chickens with head cut off. So we have to do everything we can to reach out to them and help them out. And we want to do it better than all the other people out there that are sending cold email, which is just text only. Only thing they personalize is hi, Bob, and the rest is the same. That's not what I would do. And that's not the standard that I would set. I would want to do something like I showed you. This level of personalization or the example I'm showing you here would be my minimal to get to these these small businesses. Because to be honest, like they're bombarded with things. If it doesn't stick out, if it doesn't look personalized enough, they'll be like, you didn't spend any time learning my business or what I do. And that's what I would do.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Now, another thing with the whole spam thing, guys, Solomon's team, they're sending this out for us. And if they do happen to click, hey, get me off your list,
Yeah.
Solomon does protect you in the background. This comes with the whole team to have your back, and they'll take them off of your list.
That is correct. When somebody replies, For instance, like this is it. This is a personalized introduction. Hey, I'm reaching out. Here's the picture. Here's the video. I made you a link. You want to work with me? No links to book a meeting, but we say that in the video. And when they respond back, and people do respond positively, negatively, get me off your list, whatever it is, it's completely handled by our team. We don't ever bother you. We only send you the ones that are positive or the ones that directly booked you into your calendar that we don't even know about, that you just let us know so we would remove them from future follow-ups.
So you filter everything.
100%.
And do the responsive emails come to our Gmail account or do they go to your Gmail account?
Great question. So it is built, like we really have engineered this to make it such that it could go out of yours, but the cost of you managing this number of domains and emails, it's probably not worth it, is what we decided. Unless you want to spend tens of thousands of dollars a year. So we send it out of our shared inboxes and we're managing and we're sending you all the positive response to you. So it actually costs you no domain name, no emails, no subscription to Google, none of that. No OpenAI API, no email verification tool, no warm-up tools. Literally, if you add all that up, just the tools, you'll pay more than $500 to $1,000. Just the tools.
So you forward the positive responses to our individual inboxes. Is that how it works?
We actually have it trained as like an AI appointment setter. So when somebody responds to us, we'll say, absolutely, I'm carbon copying Alfredo, who will schedule a call with you. And we add Alfredo and we fire it off. And we let him know right away, hey, bud, I just sent you a lead.
You know, I'm not an agency. I'm just a business owner type person. Would your system work for me because I'm a solo entrepreneurial type, and I'm just handling these, this type of thing as a paperwork thing for immigration attorneys?
Absolutely.
I would probably only have 1,000 people on my list that qualify as immigration attorneys. Would you have a program that could fit me in because I'm not an agency? I'm not doing recurring business with you. Could I do a one-time gig with you and pay you according to whatever?
San Diego immigration attorneys right there.
What? Huh?
This is your San Diego immigration attorney. Every single one of them is an immigration attorney in San Diego. Their names, their addresses, phone number. This must be a San Diego area code 619. I used to have clients in San Diego.
619 is San Diego.
Right there.
Well, that's wonderful. You got a great list for San Diego.
Now here's another thing. Here's another thing, guys. With the program, right? With this program, you get these lists, and Solomon is being super humble as far as the automation part. This stuff goes automatically for you. Now, if when you download this list, it's your list.
That is correct.
So what you could do with this list, put a VA on it, go to social media, right? Go reach out in other platforms, right? Drew just talked about this, LinkedIn, especially for Bad Coffee, in the attorney, right? Where are they hanging out? Go hit them up.
Can I ask you a question, Alfredo?
Yeah.
Not to Tim, you. Since you're using this program, you get a lot of leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get more leads than you can handle. What you do the extra leads?
So for me, right, the way I'm handling them, I'm just doing the cold email. So Solomon set me up where he goes, gets the list for me, verifies the list, sends out the email. So I just get my appointments.
So, but you don't get the more than you can handle?
As of right now, no. Granted, it's 18 days into it. That I want that, Solomon, I want that to be a problem for me.
Well,
Alfredo, you could sell those leads to other people in your niche. That would be a possibility.
Yeah.
Right. So Harry, just real quick jumping in here. So when we send out an email, not everybody's going to book a meeting, as you know. The conversion rate is the same as calling people, can't get a hold of them. They said call back later. It's the whole entire process. So we've built a follow-up engine to this whole thing. So the first email may not book a meeting, the second email might, the third, the fourth, the fifth. So Alfredo is actually really, really intelligent guy. He put in like 7 emails. So we're gonna have like 7 touches to these same people. His different things that he's trying to push in each email, so that if the GMB didn't work, another angle might work next week. And that didn't work, he has another email on week 3. So ultimately, we have to exhaust them to find out. In that process, they might say, unsubscribe, get me out of your list, or book a meeting. So it's really it's like a farming, right? It's really a system that's built to nurture these people locally and get you an appointment. Like, you don't have to do anything other than, like I said, respond to the people that book you, or reply and, manually book a meeting. It's that simple. The reason why you don't get 700 meetings is because you know that when you do ads, you get a 200 impression, 1 click, and 27 clicks, 1 meeting, right? Like, it's the same exact metric. We have to send thousands of emails to get 100 replies. From the 100 replies, so many people are going to come through, and so many people are going to then hopefully close 10, 15%, or 30 or 20, whatever your close rate is. That's the same metric we follow. So technically, we have to scale up the sending to overwhelm him from appointments. It's just a numbers game.
You know, if I had, let's say, 1,000 on your list of immigration attorneys in California, and let's say I land out of that 100,
Yep.
and then I'm overworked at 100. Let's say I'm okay with 100, or getting close to being, totally consumed with all the work I've got. And let's say I worked that list for maybe 6 months, and then there's a certain amount of attrition that goes on in this business, where attorneys come and go and they go out of business, or
Sure.
or they get disbarred, or whatever their problem is. Could I start and stop your program 6 months later and start up again and refill my coffers with new leads and new attorneys? Well, when I become more or less, let's say, only 60% occupied,
Capacity. Right.
would that be an option for you?
Yeah. So I think the best thing to do, just so you know, is just maybe we chat offline, so we know the needs and set you up on a program that makes sense. But the answer is yes, because our systems are on or off. I wouldn't know, like, you might be stopping in the middle of a follow-up sequence, but it can be turned off, if that makes sense. But somebody like Alfredo, he needs an always-on system, because we're putting in more leads, sending it out, nurturing them. And sometimes they might reply 3 months later. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people might find the email later. So like, there's keywords in the body of the email that are going to get found when somebody searches for a keyword. If they wake up one day and search for SEO and your email pops up, that's boom. They might be like, hey, are you available? This happens. These kinds of things happen all the time. So our job is to make sure that we're filling in the pipeline, booking appointments, and it's an evergreen system. Does that make sense? And also dealing with all the compliance that they are pushing without you having to be the IT of your own email sending infrastructure. It is really a full-time job to keep up with all the records and SPF and all of this stuff.
It sounds like you've really perfected like a terrific autoresponder, which incorporates all this video and images, follow-up emails.
Here's
This is
the
something
images.
nobody else is doing, and I got to take my hat off to you. It's a terrific idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, but this is just the picture. So if I didn't have a video from an agency owner, I'm at least sticking a picture in there so it looks even more personalized. Does that make sense? So I'm like, hey, Alfredo is too shy of the camera, didn't give me a video, but at least, like, I'm going to try to do everything I can to squeeze another reply. And believe it or not, you guys, these small little hacks work. Like, do you know a VA couldn't take a picture and stick it in the email and send 150 emails a day out for you? They couldn't do that. Like, they couldn't even send 30 emails. Customized, personalized, at scale, right? Check the emails. Like, we've burned through those kinds of scalability challenges. There's just no way you can scale with a VA. You can have 12 VAs. We'll beat them.
Yeah, I see that, because I know of at least 2 people on this call today.
Yeah.
We're just completely out of time to do any of this. We need your type of services, because we're running our little business, as a primary function in our life. And
right.
the lead generation thing, can consume many, many hours during the evening. And I know one guy here right away who I can confirm that with. And we just run out of time. There's not
Well,
enough hours in the day to get this
exactly.
done.
The other two is that, let's just say Harry's taking all the calls by himself. Eventually, he wants to hire a salesperson or two or three. Well, how's he going to scale up his volume of leads? Again, going back to the basics, it's inbound and outbound. Inbound, he could scale up the ad budget, but outbound, it's more complexity. If you want to send more emails, you need more inboxes because you can't send more than a certain amount of emails a day per inbox. Does that make sense? You can put more money in Google Ads. It just change the number. Daily budget, 250. But you can not change that in Gmail. Daily email, 250. Now you got to go buy domain names, buy all of this, check all the boxes. That's literally 10 hours of work to go from 100 emails to 250 a day.
Yeah, Harry, for instance, you just mentioned Harry. He's basically in a business to consumer niche,
Sure. Yeah.
but he'd like to kind of get out of that and work with corporate clients. So your system where you could scrape corporate clients and get the name and email address of the CEO or whoever's in charge of new acquisitions, he would like to contact them.
Sure.
And I think he would, Harry. I mean, you can confirm this or not.
That
And then
was my
get these
next question
corporate
to you.
clients on board so that he doesn't have to deal with the public every day by answering phones, with everybody calling about little, a little gig here and there. He wants a steady flow of a corporate client that sends regular clients to his business.
So 100%. So guys, we are coming up to the 60-minute mark. So I want to get it's funny again, back to what I said at the beginning. When the student is ready, the teacher shows up, right? Solomon, Dale had a question. If you can catch
Sure.
that other one, I think
I
you were.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Go for it. I see it.
Yeah.
If a prospect needs more customers, is there a way we can resell your solution to? Yes. So Dale, it's a great question. I said this in our coaching call yesterday, Alfredo.
Yes,
Literally. I said, this is a system that we built to have the ability to be resold, which is why I said in the beginning that I can put your domain names, your email address, as long as you're paying to Google for it, right? Like somebody has to pay for the subscription. There's no way out of it. Then I could use those domain names. We log into them and then we'll set it up to our system, use your data or ours, personalize it and send it out. In which case, Dale, it can be completely resold and it'll be completely white labeled because as you know, there's no reference of us and I'm doing this for Alfredo and lots of other agencies. The only challenge is to let you know in on is that somebody has to manage the response because it's not our inbox. We don't have access to it. We're just the guy who sends it out. So they would need a VA on their part to kind of consolidate these responses and deal with that part, right? Unsubscribing and so on. Does that answer your question?
So
I
hopefully.
have a question.
Yeah.
Can I, Alfredo?
Yeah, please.
2 questions.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I know this is for business to business team. And the second thing, is it possible to use this for real estate agents? So this
Great
way.
question. Yeah, I have a customer. That is in the real estate investment space, and I emailed the people, and I'll show this to you. This is really hilarious because I can't show you the name of the customer just for safety, the security reasons. But we sent him. We sent out emails for an investor. This is really, really interesting. He's an investor. He buys property. And
not the agent. He's not the agent.
He sent it to agents, and here's what he said. This is literally, I got a text message from him. I received more introduction than expected. I only been able to speak to a few of them. This is us emailing real estate agents in their town, and the guy's from a tiny town. So anything that is not marketing does really well.
And my second question was, since you are here and this is going to be recorded and it's going to be all over and thousands of people going to watch this, what specials you are offering today for GMB prospects?
Honestly, yeah. Alfredo whatever Alfredo offers is it. But like I said, we're a growing team. We're learning as we go. We don't have this put together. Like if we claim to have it all figured out, we don't. But we do have a huge passion to serve you all. That is literally that is our foundation. So we will continue to innovate and figure out things that I think, like I said, not only will it fix all of our lead generation problems, but it will also help the businesses that we're all here to serve. Does that make sense? Like they need help. That's literally what our job is. So we recently I'll show you guys one more thing. I know we're end of time here. I'm actually doing this inside. This is actually Alfredo's website. So we just launched a brand new version of a website grader for anybody else out there that's trying to make a website grader. My job was to build the best white label website grader ever. And so this is actually a development. Like this is live, but it's not actually the final piece. We're looking at the site. This is actually Alfredo's site, and we just put digital marketing agency, and we're finding the issues that he has in his website to be able to rank for any keyword. So whatever your small business is, we want to know exactly what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong. We grabbed everything, their title tag, their meta description, the content length, the H1 tags, their backlinks. And these are the people that are ranking for his term that he's looking to rank for. These are his competitors. How long his URL's been around, his page speed insights. You guys probably all know what that is. And then the ability to book a call with Alfredo if Alfredo sent this to a prospect. So the kind of things that we're trying to solve for agencies are kind of like, how do I make the best website grader? How do I get him in front of meetings? How do I help him close those deals and never be in a position where he can't predict his next 10 grand?
That's 100% true. Excellent. Love it, guys. Guys, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? There is stuff in the background to support us, right? A calculator for ads, a live, colorful, real, like, hey, ROI on it, right? What is the sales process, right? What does that look like? Sales support, right? Hands down, I came into GMB Pros to help the sales process. Hands down, Solomon has the best guy that I know that I've seen to help you guys with sales and the sales mentality and how to close sales, right? That's available to you. There's a weekly call every day, helping you answer these questions. And literally Solomon will take just yesterday's call. Somebody said, hey, can you help me with the website? Yeah, let's do it right now. Bam. There's a bunch of marketers we helped, we pitched in, and those, like, I thought I had some good ideas. There's this girl that can audit a website in our group that, she is good, on point. She's sweet. She knows how to deliver. And it's like, when you think about it, like, she's 100% right. So there's other stuff that come with the program to help us do the next 10, the next 20, wherever you're at, multiplying that more, right? Whatever the missing piece of that puzzle is. Solomon, how can we get a hold of you? I put Solomon's Facebook in there. I put his book in there. Show him some support, guys. Any particular spot that you're going to be at that you would want to those that are catching the replay?
Absolutely. Just if you want to just send us an email, it'd be probably the easiest thing to get a hold of us, sales@clickx.io. We don't have .com, it's .io. So ClickX is the name of our company. It's an app. There's a free version of our app. You can go sign up. Look, everything that we do here so that you can 10x your pipeline and get more sales. That's literally it. I started off just like you guys. I know the struggle. So if I can find ways to make that easier and easier every single day, we will do it at all costs.
Last question I can ask.
Yeah, I got one more. So
why IO extension, not .com? Is
yeah, I'm still working on buying that.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's a premium domain. So we just went with startup mentality.
No, I was thinking maybe IO start giving a more advantage now.
Not at all. No, we own it. We owned it for like 12 years now. But yes, absolutely.
So Solomon, one of the things that I like to make these calls fun, get, people to know you and you know, get more exposure, because I believe in what you're doing. But fun fact, or one of the questions I ask all our guests is, what is one fun fact about you that nobody knows?
My favorite food is tacos, and we have a guy from Tijuana over here, so maybe, you know.
Bad
And
coffee owes you.
What's that?
Bad coffee owes you. Good taco from Tijuana.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I would
yes.
totally be down with that. I'll do it for free.
There you go. So you're out of Florida, Solomon,
That's
right?
correct. Yes,
Okay.
we have an office in Chicago, and I'm in Florida because, you know, at this time of the year, this is not the place to be in Chicago.
That's right. And I'm a big Bears fan. I don't know if you knew that, by the way.
That's awesome.
So
Fantastic.
we got to meet
Go
up there.
Bears.
So with that being said, guys, I put the link on Solomon's book. Follow him on Facebook. He's a wealth of information. I put his group on there. Let's show him support. If you're interested in his program and getting this solution, reach out to him. He will, you know, help you out. And there's still, I mean, we could probably come on once a week and show a portion of the software, and it'll last us, or the platform, I should say, it'll last us probably 6 months, guys. So with that being said, thank you, Solomon, and everyone.
Thank you.
Much love, much success, and I'll see you on the next one.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.